Welcome one and all to something a little bit different. You may be wondering where I am right now. For those of you uninitiated, this is MinePeace, or maybe it is more appropriate to say this was MinePeace. See, a little bit of background. MinePeace was a server that was made by a guy called Dudo Raids. And after a little while, I actually took over as sort of the head person. The leader, the owner, whatever you want to call me. And we went for about 2 years, and this is going to be a little mini-series of just going back through the history of MinePeace, starting with the first world, Tenebre. And we are actually starting at the place where I last logged out, which was my actual house, the Tower of Skya. And it was a pretty nice looking house. Even, like, I've gotten a lot better at building since I built this, but this still looks pretty freaking cool. Alright, and let's actually take a look at the back here first, because this is what I was working on when I had left. I was working on just like this little area here. I don't remember what I was going to use it for actually, but I did have some really nice looking pillars, and there's water on the inside of them, and it's just, these are cool. I would build these again. They're very stocky, but they're very complex, but not like needlessly so. And it's very nice to see. Like, I've come a long way, and yet I haven't changed. Yeah, I don't really remember what this area was for, and it's actually so small because obviously I only had such a sized area to work with. And at the time, my computer was really bad. Like, I could only play on 2 chunk render distance and like 30 frames maybe. And it was bad. I believe, yep, there's an entrance right over here. And this is like the main foyer of the Tower of Skya. And as you can see, you got like layers of glass going all the way down and up to the floor above it, which I think there were actually 2 floors above it. Was there only one? Nope, those are just there. The level 1's atrium, of course. Got level 2, which I believe was brewing. Yep, brewing. Got some potion stuff. Got water source right here. Water source. Oh, ooh. Did not mean to do that. There we go. Water source over there. Had some cauldrons, some brewing stands. Had to have some gubbins for brewing. Some, yeah. I actually got some potions on here. What did I just have? Yep, I just had water bottles here. For the effect, I suppose. I don't think... Is there one above it? Yes, there is. Ah, this is my enchanting room. Okay. See, this is cool. I like this. Even back then. I seem not to have finished it. There we go. Looks a little better there. And yes, I am in creative mode, but, you know, I'm not here in survival. I don't know why I had so many gold swords. I must have had a lot of gold to throw around. Let's go down. We got level 2, level 1, and then we got basement 1. Yeah, we did have a thing. Come to think, I think this was supposed to be wearing armor. I think this was wearing my iron set of armor. Yep, it was. I don't know why it's holding it in its hands, or why that's got its offhand, or what have you. Yeah, we got my little storage room down here, and even back then, I kept an idea board. Even back then. And this is something that I remember quite well. The Lazuli of Peace. This is actually a running thing throughout MinePeace. Way back when, there was a little sort of mock standoff between me and one of the other players of the server, Ivy. And we actually had a third guy sort of taking screenshots. She had a bow drawn at me, and I just had a piece of lapis lazuli in my hand. And so it just became a symbol of peace. Yeah, and down here we have the farms. As if I had to see that to actually get it. I had this nice little bridged walkway here. I don't know why I kept that stone. And of course the one below it's unfinished. I mean, you know, what do you expect? Can't have everything done. Yeah, and we're gonna make a quick jump cut here, and we're gonna get to the spawn town. Alright, real quick, as I was flying towards spawn town, I noticed this, and I've never actually seen this. Or if I have, I really don't remember it. Seems to be some sort of villager farm, and a lot of testing stuff. Whose stuff? Laxophy? You have to understand that I was leading up the server for the better part of 2 years. I do not remember everyone that's come and gone. I've remembered quite a few people, but Laxophy does ring a bell. As you can see off in the distance there, we have Dudo's old house. Here, let's go check that out. I believe that's Dudo's old house. No, that's not Dudo's house. Whose is this? Whoever it is had some style. Is there another way in here? No. It's just for show. Oh. It's rather manual based, but then again, so was everything back in the day. I believe we actually started in 1.8, I want to say. Oh, and it actually goes lower. Whose place was this? Portal. I actually don't know whose place this was, because I know it isn't Dudo's. Mysteries and enigmas. This is what you get when you come back to a world after so long. Off in the distance you can see the lights of civilization. And I believe we have made it to spawn. Whoa. Do I know what this is? Whatever it is. Oh, someone died. I do not know what this is. I think... Yep, that's Auric's rocket. I remember that. He actually built a giant rocket for his house in spawn. And if I remember right... Whose is this? Someone just started digging out a circle here. Where was my house in location to spawn? Is that it over there? Nope. That was... Ooh. Oh, I remember this. Jello's cage. For some reason, he just sort of kept himself in a giant cage. Full of vines and... Oh, I remember this was when slime blocks were released, so we had a trampoline going way up in the sky up there. Just to test it out. And of course, he was the one who had to have a bunch of beacons and everything. He had to grind. This was basically his grind area. And over here, we have the barn, where seems like someone had left the cow gate open. No, the floodgates are released. Well, easy come, easy go. At 2 cows. Oh well. Yeah, this is where we basically kept the animals of spawn, including some horses. And just whatever you needed for it. And now we got like a nice little area up here for just holding materials. Let's see. Ah yes, over here we had the little... Well, I say little. I mean just like the portal entrance, which was a nice portal entrance for the time. Nice little bridge into the nether. Yes, over here we have Ivy's mausoleum. Yep, the morgue. She had like a little game going on in here. I'm not sure why. I still don't know what she was on about to this day. Yeah, carefully throw your beloved one's corpses for it to be organized. think there were hoppers under there or something. I seem to remember a remembrance hall of some sort. Yeah, there was community donations for stuff. We had a little community mine down here. And, I think I remember this. Yep. Little food truck that Ivy'd built. And yeah, map of spawn. As you can see, it's pretty extensive boat down there. I think I might have built that boat. I think that was Zesty's, I want to say. God, there's just so many memories in this place. Where's my house? Okay, yeah, there's my house right there. It's a little, tiny little Nordic place. And this is the start of many domes. This was the spawn dome. That was created by, what was his name? His name was Blake. NZ Boss NZ. And this is actually a meeting place whenever we had some sort of event going on. There was some vines over here that you could climb and get up into the leaves. Yep, like this. Well, not that specifically. I can't remember where the entrance was. But we basically could climb up the vines, get into the leaves, and you could just hang around in there and discuss plans. As you can see by the little table that someone had fashioned. I think the vines might have been here at one point, but I don't know where they've gone. And you got Blake's house over here, which I believe was inspired by a Slipgator build on the Hermitcraft server back on Season 3, I want to say. A while ago now. We got the graveyard. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with all these. Yep. Your last Squidward's hopes and dreams. Yeah, I had to do it. The victim of bite of 87. Looking back, I can tell that was a FNAF reference, but I did not know it at the time. God, there's just so much history and so many memories here. I think this was Dudo's? No, this was Pyro's house. Ah, yes. I still don't know why he had so much redstone on the floor. I think it was some sort of mob proofing. What about over here? Whose house is this? It's gonna be a lot of that. There's a lot of whose house was this? Who had this thing? Who did this belong to? Nether Portal coming soon. Don't actually know whose house this is. They seem to be missing a block in the floor here. What else can we find? Of course, got the little bridge here. I can't remember who made this bridge, actually. I want to say this was Ivy's, but I am not even remotely certain of that. It just looks Ivy-ish. Anyway, over here we have, I believe this was Zesty's Redstone Consultancy? Pyro's Gov Shack. Name and job. Yep. That was Pyro's thing. Zesty did the one in the next one, I believe. This was, yep, Barkus Bookstore. Oh, missing some glass on the floor there. And a bunch of different enchantments. Here we had this was Dudo's store. Yep. No, this is Desert Shop. I could have sworn that it was Dudo's store. I think even back then I didn't know. Just a bunch of desert gubs, and then next door to it, of course, we got my store. I will never forget that. Nope. Dudo shop. Next to that was my store. Oh, I just made a fool of myself. And a few odds and ends around here. I think I might have designed this. That might be why I'm thinking that. I think I might have helped design that. Yep, this is my Build-A-Box. Yep. basically a building consultancy sort of thing. This was sort of a commerce district over here. Got the wood shop. I want to say... Oh, what was her name? Bailey. I think that was Bailey's shop. Tez's record shop. This was a redstone marvel. I remember I could not figure out how this friggin' thing worked. You pressed a button, you got the record. It was just amazing. I don't know if it still works or not, but yeah, you got the little hipster door. All the redstone was stored back here. But I'm not gonna break it open. Who do we have here? Laxman's Paxson. Huh. Okay. And what was this? I think this is the community hall. Yep, to the fallen members. Spartan Sniper. Eric Papa. Just like a nice little commemoration to some of the fallen members of MinePeace. I think that was Ivy's head right there. I'm surprised it still has the metadata for that. This was Ivy's shop as well. I remember this one specifically. And she took forever working on this thing. And someone has went and broken it. The nerve. Anyway, whose shop was this? I want to say this is Oryx. Yep, the potion shop. And this one over here, I'm not sure whose shop this was. Yeah, there were a few people on MinePeace, and they're all doing something weird. I think this was a prototype Iron Titan, basically, that never really went anywhere. I think this here was Tez's house. And not much of a house, but you know, he was more concerned with redstone stuff. And of course, you got the rainbow sheep over there, and my little spawn house. I didn't notice that I built it over a cave. It's a little Nordic spawn house. Still got a nice little homey feel to it. Yeah, this place was definitely something. It was a lot of us. It was our first foray into a lot of this stuff. I know for me, MinePeace was my third server overall and second SMP. And it was actually the first time that I had led an SMP. And so a lot of the stuff I wasn't sure what I was doing. But a lot of it did seem to work out. We got Dudo's house over here. I remember this well. Even at 2-chunk render distance, I can remember that. We got Tompa's house, back when he was still around. And this is actually where the Tower of Sky used to be before I uprooted it and moved it. We had like a little fire pit, little ship. Even back then I was still not great at building ships, but you know, I was alright. Not a bad little ship. I don't know why there's a thing here. But yeah, it was definitely a bit of a trial. Zesty's battleship. And I think this was Liagi. Just built a giant hole, basically. Not sure why he did it, but I'm not sure why Liagi did many of the things he did. Man, this place has a lot of fond memories for me. This was Liagi's house proper. spawn proofed. This taught me quite a bit about using darkness in spaces. And that's really a big benefit of servers like this, is that you can learn from everyone around here. And that's why I'm glad that, you know, Minnie has joined UE, because she's only really ever done single player, and you can learn a lot from multiplayer servers. Oh god, I remember this little King of the Hill course that we built just for the laughs. We had a little Gryffindor style seating here just because Ivy didn't want to participate in it. A little changing area so you didn't lose all your gubs just fighting it out. I think someone was building a bigger arena for things over here, but I don't quite recall what. Fort Virginity. Okay. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for that. Yeah, whose house was this? I remember being here. I remember it being a really cool house, which it is a really cool house. Is it supposed to be reflective? No, I think there's just a way down there probably. But I don't know it. It might be meant to be reflective. I might not have finished it. It's unclear. But yeah, there's a lot of good memories here. Alright, that about does it. There's probably more to see around here, but a lot of it I really can't remember. It was a while ago. It was a few years ago at this point that we were actually on Tenebre. And this was actually the first of 4 worlds. I kept 3 of the saves. So I was actually going to make a little mini-series out of this. And of course in this episode we do Tenebre. The second episode we will do probably what was the peak of MinePeace, which was Aluma. It was a little amplified world. And I really loved it. Everyone else really loved it. Kento will still talk about it to this day. And then the third episode we will do our last world, Renovare, which is sort of when we were petering out and people were sort of starting to lose interest. Because, you know, all good things have to come to an end at some point. But thank you everyone for watching this, and I hope you'll stick around for the next one. See you later.